Actors are known for their passion and dedication to their craft, often going to great lengths to bring authenticity to their performances. While the scenes they portray may not be real, their commitment to making them appear realistic can sometimes put them in harm's way. The pursuit of realism, particularly when it comes to performing complex stunts, can be overwhelming and even deadly. In the heat of the moment, the line between reality and fiction can become blurred, and accidents can happen. Today, we'll be exploring instances where actors have come close to death or have tragically lost their lives while attempting to recreate realistic scenes on set. You might be familiar with some of the stories, but there are others that may have flown under the radar. Get ready to discover some shocking and lesser-known cases of actors who have risked it all for the sake of their craft. This video is packed with surprising and thrilling stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Number 10. This is NO Acting, I Can't Breathe. Welcome to the Mystery Lore Archive. A big thank you to all our wonderful viewers and subscribers for tuning in to our videos. We're committed to bringing you more engaging and informative content that will entertain, educate, and intrigue you. Your feedback is invaluable to us, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can improve and better serve you. Thank you again for your support, and we look forward to sharing more fascinating mysteries and stories with you. Isla Fisher. When working in the entertainment industry, it's expected that everything is staged and fake, with no real-life threats to one's safety. With the use of stunt doubles, green screens, motion capture, and other safety measures, it's possible to create thrilling and harrowing scenes without putting the cast in harm's way. However, despite these precautions, accidents can and do still happen. Nothing is completely guaranteed, and actress Isla Fisher shared a chilling experience she had while filming the 2013 movie, Now You See Me. In an interview with Cineatomy, Fisher recalled her time on set and the terrifying incident that occurred while filming a scene where she had to escape from a water trap. The movie, which revolves around a group of magicians and escape artists known as the Four Horsemen, features the cast performing grand and daring stunts throughout. Fisher's character was required to perform a magic trick that involved being underwater, and it was during this scene that the accident happened. Fisher shared that she was trying to break out of the water trap, but her chain got stuck, and she was unable to free herself. She had to swim to the bottom of the tank, but couldn't get back up to the surface. In a shocking revelation, Fisher stated that everyone on set thought she was acting, and didn't realize that she was actually struggling to stay alive. My chain got stuck. I had to really swim to the bottom, I couldn't get up. Everyone thought I was acting fabulously. I was actually drowning. No one realized I was actually struggling, Fisher said. Fortunately, Fisher managed to escape thanks to a quick-release switch and a stuntman who was standing nearby. She was underwater for nearly 3 minutes, which is an incredibly long time to be without oxygen. Fisher's experience was a harrowing one, and it's a reminder that even with safety measures in place, accidents can still occur. The incident was also discussed on Chelsea Lately, where Fisher shared her story, and Chelsea Handler followed up with a similar anecdote about an incident that happened on the set of the movie Jaws. Handler joked, "Stuff happens in water that should not happen," highlighting the unpredictable nature of filming in and around water. Fisher's experience serves as a reminder of the risks that actors and stunt performers take when filming complex and daring scenes, and the importance of having safety protocols in place to prevent accidents from happening. Number 9. From sobriety to a binge drinking challenge. Oliver Reed was a talented actor who made his mark on the film industry with his notable roles in various movies. After starting his career with appearances in Hammer horror films in the early 1960s, he went on to play significant roles in films such as La Bête in the Trap, 1966, Bill Sikes in Oliver. 1968, Gerald in Women in Love, 1969. The title role in Hannibal Brooks, 1969, Urbain Grandier in The Devils, 1971, Athos in The Three Musketeers, 1973, and The Four Musketeers, 1974, Uncle Frank in Tommy, 1975, Dr. Hal Raglan in The Brood, 1979, Dolly Hopkins in Funny Bones, 1995, and Antonius Proximo in Gladiator, 2000. Tragically, Reed's life was cut short during the filming of Gladiator in 1999. On the afternoon of May 2, 1999, Reed died from a sudden heart attack at the age of 61, while on a break from filming in Valletta. According to Gladiator screenwriter David Franzoni, Reed had encountered a group of Royal Navy sailors from the HMS Cumberland who were on shore leave at a bar and challenged them to a drinking match. Despite his efforts to keep up with the sailors, Reed fell ill during the match and collapsed. Unfortunately, he died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, despite resuscitation efforts by his friends. Reed's death was met with shock and sadness from his colleagues and friends. Despite his outspoken British patriotism, a funeral was held for Reed in the Irish village of Churchtown, where he had lived during the last years of his life. His body was interred in the village's Bruhenny graveyard, a short distance from the pub he would frequent. The epitaph on his gravestone reads, "He made the air move," a testament to his larger-than-life personality. In the years following his death, Reed's Gladiator co-stars have spoken out about the circumstances surrounding his passing. In 2016, Omid Djalili said, "Reed hadn't had a drink for months before filming started. Everyone said he went the way he wanted, but that's not true. It was very tragic. He was in an Irish bar and was pressured into a drinking competition. He should have just left, but he didn't." Reed had made a number of promises to Gladiator director Ridley Scott prior to filming, including that he would not drink during production. However, he would often drink on weekends when filming was not underway. David Hemmings, a longtime friend of Reed and also a co-star in Gladiator, had promised to look after him during filming. Ridley Scott stated in 2020, "David promised to look after him and said to me, upon his death, 'I'm really sorry, old boy.'" The loss of Reed was deeply felt by the cast and crew of Gladiator, and his death had a significant impact on the completion of the film. As a result of his passing, Reed's remaining scenes in Gladiator had to be completed using a body double and computer-generated imagery, CGI, techniques. Despite the challenges posed by his death, Reed's performance in Gladiator was widely acclaimed, and he was posthumously nominated for a BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actor. His legacy lives on through his remarkable body of work, and he remains one of the most talented and beloved actors of his generation. Number 8. From a Moving Vehicle to a Coming Vehicle. Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien, the lead actor in the dystopian Maze Runner action trilogy, has spoken out about a near-death accident that occurred on the set of the third film, The Death Cure, in 2016. The franchise, which made $924 million worldwide, was a significant success, but the incident had a profound impact on O'Brien's life and career. During a stunt where he was meant to jump between two vehicles, O'Brien was instead pulled from a moving car and hit by another vehicle. The accident resulted in a concussion, a facial fracture, and other brain trauma, and production on the film was shut down indefinitely. O'Brien has since spoken about the incident, stating that his safety concerns on set were not listened to or respected, which led to the accident. "I can look at that day and know I was a 24-year-old kid who was raising concerns about how we were approaching things, and they were not listened to, they were not respected," he said. And then what happened happened. And by all accounts, it was all pretty gotten away with, I would say, as well. O'Brien spent half a year in physical recovery, during which time he contemplated whether he would ever return to acting. "I really was in a dark place there for a while and it wasn't an easy journey back," he previously told Vulture. "There was a time there where I didn't know if I would ever do it again, and that thought scared me, too." The incident had a profound impact on O'Brien's approach to his work and his safety on set. "It was a life-changing incident. I've approached everything differently, you could say, particularly with regards to standing my ground on set," he said. "It's very commonplace in the culture for young actors to be controlled, and the way they strive to do that is by always being like, 'Oh, don't become difficult. Don't be a pain in the ass.' Or, 'Are you complaining? Are you being difficult?' Things like that." O'Brien emphasized the importance of taking care of oneself on set and not being afraid to speak up about safety concerns. At the end of the day, in these spaces, you have your own back, and that's the most you can rely on, he said. I know the person I am, and the character I bring to set, and the way I treat people and the way that I treat a workspace, and I know I'm not difficult. I know I'm not an asshole. I know I was trying to protect myself that day, and so I've just never forgotten that. That's always true as being the thing to hold with me. Number 7. Just playing around, one clean shot to my temple. John Eric Hexum. John Eric Hexum was an American actor and model, born on November 5, 1957, in Englewood, New Jersey, to Thorleif Andreas Hexum, a Norwegian immigrant, and Greta Olivia Paulson, a Minnesota-born American of Norwegian parentage. He was known for his lead roles in the TV series Voyagers and Cover Up, as well as his supporting role as Pat Trammell in the biopic The Bear. Hexum's life was cut short when he died by an accidental self-inflicted blank cartridge gunshot to the head on the set of Cover Up on October 12, 1984. Hexum was seen as the next big thing in Hollywood prior to his death, due to his looks, charisma, and ambition. He was a popular sex symbol during his time, and was also remembered for his deep bass voice and light blue eyes. On the day of the accident, the cast and crew of Cover Up were filming the 7th episode of the series, Golden Opportunity, on Stage 18 of the 20th Century Fox lot. One of the scenes filmed that day called for Hexum's character to load cartridges into a .44 Magnum handgun, so he was provided with a functional gun and blanks. When the scene did not play as the director wanted it to in the master shot, there was a delay in filming. Hexum became restless and impatient during the delay and began playing around to lighten the mood. He had unloaded all but one blank round, spun it, and, simulating Russian roulette, he put the revolver to his right temple and pulled the trigger. The explosive effect of the muzzle blast caused enough blunt force trauma to fracture a quarter-sized piece of his skull and propel this into his brain, causing massive hemorrhaging. Hexum was rushed to Beverly Hills Medical Center, where he underwent 5 hours of surgery to repair his wounds. On October 18, aged 26, 6 days after the accident, Hexum was declared brain dead. With his mother's permission, his body was flown to San Francisco on life support, where his heart was transplanted into a 36-year-old Las Vegas man at California Pacific Medical Center. Hexum's kidneys and corneas were also donated. One cornea went to a 66-year-old man, the other to a young girl. One of the kidney recipients was a critically ill 5-year-old boy, and the other was a 43-year-old grandmother of 3 who had waited 8 years for a kidney. Skin that was donated was used to treat a 3+1/2-year-old boy with third-degree burns. Hexum's body was then flown back to Los Angeles. He was cremated at Grandview Crematory in Glendale, California, and a private funeral was held. His ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean, near Malibu, California, by his mother. He left an estate estimated to be worth $255,000. The death was ruled accidental. His mother later received an out-of-court settlement from 20th Century Fox Television and Glenn A. Larson Productions, the production company behind Cover Up. The episode on which Hexum had been working was broadcast on November 3, 1984, 2 weeks after his death. Cover Up continued production without Hexum's character. 3 weeks later, in the episode Writer's Block, aired on November 24, Anthony Hamilton was introduced as Agent Jack Stryker, posing as a new member of the modeling team. Hexum's character Mac is noticeably absent, said to be on another mission. At the end of the episode, Henry Towler, Richard Anderson, breaks the news that Mac has been killed on the other assignment and would not be coming back. In Writer's Block, the following message ran that replaced the closing credits, in memory of John Eric Hexum, 1957 to 1984. The show was eventually cancelled in 1985 due to low ratings. Hexum's death was a shock to the entertainment industry and his fans, and it served as a reminder of the risks and dangers of using firearms on set, even with blanks. His legacy lives on through his donated organs, which have helped to save the lives of several people, and his memory continues to be celebrated by his fans and the entertainment industry. Number 6. Sepsis, I can't see the number of fingers you're holding up. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow was a renowned American actress, known for her portrayal of bad girl characters, and was the leading sex symbol of the early 1930s. She was one of the defining figures of the pre-code era of American cinema and was often nicknamed the Blonde Bombshell and the Platinum Blonde. Harlow was popular for her laughing vamp screen persona and became one of Hollywood's biggest movie stars, despite being in the film industry for only 9 years. In 1937, Harlow was scheduled to begin filming for her final film, Saratoga, co-starring Clark Gable, in March. However, production was delayed when she developed sepsis after a multiple wisdom tooth extraction and had to be hospitalized. After almost 2 months, Harlow recovered, and shooting began on April 22, 1937. She also appeared on the May 3 cover of Life magazine in photographs by Martin Munkacsy. On May 20, 1937, while filming Saratoga, Harlow began to complain of illness. Her symptoms, which included fatigue, nausea, fluid retention, and abdominal pain, did not seem very serious to the studio doctor, who believed that she was suffering from cholecystitis and influenza. However, the doctor was not aware that Harlow had been ill during the previous year with a severe sunburn and influenza. Friend and co-star Una Merkel noticed Harlow's onset weight gain, gray pallor, and fatigue. On May 29, while Harlow filmed a scene in which her character had a fever, she was clearly sicker than her character and leaned against her co-star Gable between takes, saying, "I feel terrible. Get me back to my dressing room." She requested that the assistant director telephone William Powell, who immediately left his own movie set to escort her back home. During the making of the movie, Saratoga, Jean Harlow started complaining of illness, exhibiting symptoms such as nausea, tiredness, abdominal aches, and water weight. These symptoms weren't considered serious by her doctor, so she continued to act in the movie. However, during a scene, she complained of not being able to see well and of not feeling well. That evening, Jean Harlow was taken to the Good Samaritan Hospital in Los Angeles, where she slipped into a coma and died the next day at the age of 26 due to kidney failure. The next day, Powell checked on Harlow and discovered that her condition had not improved. He contacted her mother and insisted that she cut her holiday short to be at her daughter's side. Powell also summoned a doctor. Because Harlow's previous illnesses had delayed the shooting of 3 movies, Wife vs. Secretary, Susie, and Libeled Lady, initially, there was no great concern regarding this latest bout with a recurring illness. On June 2, it was announced that she was again suffering from influenza. Ernest Fishbaugh, who had been called to Harlow's home to treat her, diagnosed her with an inflamed gallbladder. Mother Jean told MGM that Harlow was feeling better on June 3, and co-workers expected her back on the set by Monday, June 7, 1937. Press reports were contradictory, with headlines reading "Jean Harlow seriously ill" and "Harlow recovers from illness crisis." When she did not return to set, a concerned Gable visited her and later remarked that she was severely bloated and that he smelled urine on her breath when he kissed her, both signs of kidney failure. Leland Chapman, a colleague of Fishbaugh, was called in to give a second opinion on Harlow's condition. Chapman recognized that she was not suffering from an inflamed gallbladder but was in the final stages of kidney failure. On June 6, 1937, Harlow said that she could not see Powell clearly and could not tell how many fingers he was holding up. That evening, she was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital in Los Angeles, where she slipped into a coma. The next day at 11:37 a.m., Harlow died in the hospital at the age of 26. In the doctor's press releases, the cause of death was given as cerebral edema, a complication of kidney failure. Hospital records mention uremia. Harlow's death was a shock to the film industry and her fans, and it marked the end of an era in Hollywood. She was just 26 years old when she died, and her legacy has endured for generations. In 1999, The American. Number 5. Mechanical failure almost results in decapitation. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, known for his daredevil stunts and willingness to perform most of his own action sequences, has had a brush with death while filming the 2003 action drama, The Last Samurai. The 62-year-old actor, who has been performing his own stunts for over 30 years, turned down the option of having a stunt double and instead chose to wield his own swords and ride mechanical horses himself. One particular scene in the film saw Cruise come inches away from losing his life. The scene involved Cruise riding a mechanical horse alongside his co-star, Hiroyuki Sanada, who had to swing a sword at Cruise's head. However, due to a technical fault, Sanada's horse veered off course, and the scene nearly led to tragedy as Cruise almost lost his head. Fortunately, Cruise's life was saved by Sanada's expert martial arts skills. Recalling the incident, Cruise said, "One day we were shooting, I was on a mechanical horse and Hiro was on one too. He was approaching me and then suddenly his horse hit me and his sword was right here, pointing an inch from his neck." He added, "Luckily Hiro is trained in martial arts. I trust him." Number 5. Mechanical failure almost results in decapitation. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, known for his daredevil stunts and willingness to perform most of his own action sequences, has had a brush with death while filming the 2003 action drama, The Last Samurai. The 62-year-old actor, who has been performing his own stunts for over 30 years, turned down the option of having a stunt double and instead chose to wield his own swords and ride mechanical horses himself. One particular scene in the film saw Cruise come inches away from losing his life. The scene involved Cruise riding a mechanical horse alongside his co-star, Hiroyuki Sanada, who had to swing a sword at Cruise's head. However, due to a technical fault, Sanada's horse veered off course, and the scene nearly led to tragedy as Cruise almost lost his head. Fortunately, Cruise's life was saved by Sanada's expert martial arts skills. Recalling the incident, Cruise said, "One day we were shooting, I was on a mechanical horse and Hiro was on one too. He was approaching me and then suddenly his horse hit me and his sword was right here, pointing an inch from his neck." He added, "Luckily Hiro is trained in martial arts. I trust him." The incident occurred when the two actors were filming a scene where they were approaching each other on mechanical horses. Sanada's horse was meant to stop a split second before he swung his sword at Cruise's head, but the mechanism failed, and the horse carried on towards Cruise. Sanada's quick reflexes and martial arts training allowed him to control his sword and avoid striking Cruise. In an interview, Sanada recalled the incident, saying, "Tom's neck was right in front of me, and I tried to stop swinging my sword, but it was hard to control with one hand." He added, "The film crew watching from the side all screamed because they thought Tom's head would fly off." The incident was so intense that the crew members watching from the side were convinced that Cruise's head would be severed. The Last Samurai, directed by Edward Zwick, tells the story of Captain Nathan Algren, a disillusioned American Civil War veteran hired to train Japan's first modern conscript army in the late 19th century. Cruise played the lead role and spent 8 months training for the part, followed by 4 months researching samurai history. His performance earned him a Golden Globe nomination. Cruise's willingness to perform his own stunts has become a hallmark of his career, and he has been involved in several intense and dangerous sequences throughout his films. However, the incident on the set of The Last Samurai was one of the closest calls he has had, and it serves as a reminder of the risks involved in performing complex and dangerous stunts. The incident has been widely reported, and both Cruise and Sanada have spoken about the close call in interviews. The Daily Mail once reported Cruise talking about the incident, saying, "One day we were shooting, I was on a mechanical horse and Hiro was on one too. He was approaching me and then suddenly his horse hit me and his sword was right here, points an inch from his neck. Luckily Hiro is trained in martial arts. I trust him." The incident is a testament to the professionalism and skill of the actors and stunt team involved in the film. Despite the risks involved, Cruise and Sanada were able to perform the scene safely, and the film went on to become a critical and commercial success. The Last Samurai is widely regarded as one of Cruise's best films, and his performance as Captain Nathan Algren is considered one of his most memorable roles. Number 4. Freak bike accident. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been having a big year, with the release of his second 2020 film, Project Power, on Netflix on August 14. The movie immediately became the streamer's most popular film in the US at the moment. In Project Power, Gordon-Levitt plays Frank Shaver, a New Orleans detective who is investigating the source of a new superpowered street drug known as Power. In order to level the playing field with the criminals who are taking Power, Shaver also ingests the pill, which yields bulletproof skin in his case. However, during the filming of Project Power, Gordon-Levitt suffered a freak bike accident, his second in 8 years. The accident occurred while he was riding a blue bike on the New Orleans-based set. Blue bikes are part of the city's bike share program. Gordon-Levitt told The Hollywood Reporter that the accident happened off-camera, after he had passed the camera. In fact, the shot right before the accident was used in the movie. Gordon-Levitt explained that he was fooling around and going too fast on the bike. He looked right at the camera and came close to it, and then, when he hit the brakes on the public bike were not good, and the front wheel seized up, dumping him off the bike and onto the concrete. Gordon-Levitt said, "I wish I could have seen it." This was not Gordon-Levitt's first bike accident. On August 1, 2010, he was injured during filming when he rode into the back of a taxi. The impact sent Gordon-Levitt flying into the rear windshield of the taxi, slashing his arm, which required 31 stitches. A shot of the aftermath of that accident is included as a scene during the credits of the film Premium Rush. Gordon-Levitt's accident on the set of Project Power occurred on August 1, 2020, exactly 10 years after his previous bike accident. Despite the accident, Gordon-Levitt was able to continue filming and complete his scenes for the movie. Project Power has been a huge success on Netflix, and Gordon-Levitt's performance as Frank Shaver has received praise from critics and audiences alike. The movie follows Shaver as he investigates the source of the powerful street drug, which gives users temporary superpowers. As Shaver delves deeper into the world of Power, he must confront his own demons and make difficult choices to protect himself and those around him. The movie also stars Jamie Foxx and Dominique Fishback, and has been praised for its action-packed sequences and thought-provoking themes. Gordon-Levitt's experience with bike accidents has not deterred him from continuing to perform his own stunts and ride bikes. However, he has said that he will be more careful in the future and make sure to wear proper safety gear when riding. Despite the risks involved, Gordon-Levitt has said that he loves the thrill of performing his own stunts and will continue to do so in his future films. Number 3. Single vehicle collision, charred in seconds. Paul Walker. Paul Walker was a talented American actor who began his career as a child actor in the 1980s. He gained recognition in the 1990s after appearing in the television soap opera The Young and the Restless. Walker's performances in the teen comedy She's All That and the comedy drama Varsity Blues, both 1999, earned him praise and recognition in the entertainment industry. His breakthrough role came in 2001 when he starred in The Fast and the Furious, which catapulted him to international fame. Walker's success in The Fast and the Furious led to him becoming an action star, and he went on to star in several commercially successful films, including the road thriller Joy Ride, 2001. However, he also appeared in some box office disappointments, such as Into the Blue, 2005, and Running Scared, 2006. Despite these setbacks, Walker earned praise for his performances in the survival drama 8 Below and for his portrayal of Hank Hansen in Flags of Our Fathers, both 2006. In addition to his film work, Walker was also known for his charitable efforts, particularly through his organization Reach Out Worldwide, which provided aid to victims of natural disasters. On November 30, 2013, Walker, 40, and his friend Roger Rodas, 38, left an event for Reach Out Worldwide, which was held to support victims of Typhoon Haiyan. Rodas, who was driving his red 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, lost control of the car while traveling at a high speed on Hercules Street in Valencia, a neighborhood of Santa Clarita, California. The car was traveling between 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour, and 93 miles per hour, 150 kilometers per hour, in a 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour, speed zone when Rodas lost control and crashed into a concrete lamppost and 2 trees off the road. The car caught fire within seconds after impact, and both Walker and Rodas were knocked out by the force of the crash. According to forensic evidence gathered from the scene, Rodas died instantly from multiple physical trauma, while Walker died within seconds from the combined effects of physical trauma and burns. The investigation into the crash found that the car's speed and the age of the tires were the primary reasons for the accident. The curve where Walker and Rodas died is a popular spot for drifting cars, but police found no evidence of drag racing. Additionally, no alcohol or other drugs were found in either man's system, and neither mechanical failure nor road conditions appeared to play a role in the crash. The news of Walker's death sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, and numerous friends and movie stars posted tributes to him on social media. The production of Furious 7, which was in the middle of filming at the time of Walker's death, was put on hold indefinitely as Universal announced that they would be speaking with his family before determining what to do with the film. Walker's remains were cremated, and his ashes were buried in a non-denominational ceremony at Forest Lawn Memorial Park. His life and legacy were later chronicled in the documentary I Am Paul Walker, which was released on August 11, 2018. The documentary featured interviews with Walker's family and friends, as well as footage from his films and personal life, and provided a poignant tribute to the actor's memory. In the years following his death, Walker's fans and colleagues have continued to celebrate his life and legacy. His charitable organization, Reach Out Worldwide, has continued to provide aid to those in need, and his films remain popular among audiences around the world. Despite his tragic and untimely death, Paul Walker's impact on the entertainment industry and his fans will never be forgotten. Number 2. Sudden illness shortens 8 Simple Rules actor John Ritter. John Ritter was a talented American actor, best known for his iconic role as Jack Tripper on the ABC sitcom Three's Company, which aired from 1977 to 1984. He was the son of the famous singing cowboy star Tex Ritter and the father of actors Jason and Tyler Ritter. Ritter's performance on Three's Company earned him a Primetime Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award in 1984, solidifying his status as a beloved and respected actor in the entertainment industry. After the success of Three's Company, Ritter briefly reprised his role as Jack Tripper on the spin-off series Three's a Crowd, which aired for one season from 1984 to 1985, producing 22 episodes before its cancellation. Ritter's career continued to thrive, with appearances in various films and television shows, including the popular sitcom 8 Simple Rules, For Dating My Teenage Daughter, where he played the lead role of Paul Hennessy. Tragically, Ritter's life was cut short on September 11, 2003, while he was rehearsing for 8 Simple Rules, on the Walt Disney Studios lot in Burbank, California. At around 6 p.m., Ritter suddenly fell ill, experiencing symptoms such as profuse sweating, vomiting, and chest pain. He was immediately taken across the street to the Providence St. Joseph Medical Center, the same hospital where he was born, for emergency treatment. Initially, Ritter was treated by emergency room physicians for an assumed heart attack, but his condition quickly worsened. Further diagnosis revealed that Ritter was suffering from an aortic dissection, a serious and potentially life-threatening condition. Despite emergency surgery, Ritter was pronounced dead at 10:48 p.m., at the age of 54, leaving behind his wife, Amy Yasbeck, and their children. A private funeral for Ritter was held in Los Angeles on September 15, 2003, after which he was interred at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. The sudden and unexpected loss of Ritter sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, with many of his colleagues and friends paying tribute to his memory. In the years following Ritter's death, his widow, Amy Yasbeck, filed several lawsuits against the doctors involved in his treatment in Providence St. Joseph Medical Center, alleging negligence and wrongful death. A number of these lawsuits were settled out of court, with a total of $14 million being paid, including a settlement of $9.4 million with Providence St. Joseph. One of the lawsuits, a $67 million wrongful death claim, went to trial in 2008 against two of the physicians involved in Ritter's treatment, radiologist Matthew Lottish and cardiologist Joseph Lee. Yazbek accused Lee of misdiagnosing Ritter's condition as a heart attack, rather than recognizing the symptoms of an aortic dissection, and Lottish of failing to detect an enlargement of Ritter's aorta during a full-body scan 2 years prior to his death. The trial, which took place at the Los Angeles County Superior Court, concluded with the jury delivering a verdict that the doctors who treated Ritter on the day of his death were not negligent and therefore not responsible for his death. Despite this outcome, Ritter's family and friends continue to remember him fondly, celebrating his legacy as a talented and beloved actor who left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Do you think I skipped any honorable mentions? If yes, then drop your takes in the comments section and I might do part 2. Number 1, shot on set, dead in reality. Brandon Lee. Brandon Bruce Lee was a talented American actor who was born on February 1, 1965. He was the son of the legendary martial artist and film star Bruce Lee, who tragically died when Brandon was just 8 years old. Despite the loss of his father, Brandon followed in his footsteps and trained in martial arts, determined to make a name for himself in the entertainment industry. In the early 1990s, Brandon established himself as a rising action star, landing his breakthrough role as Eric Draven in the supernatural superhero film The Crow. The film was set to be released in 1994, but tragically, Brandon's life and career were cut short during the production of the movie. On March 31, 1993, Brandon was filming a scene for The Crow in which his character is shot and killed by thugs. The scene involved Brandon's character walking into his apartment and discovering his fiancée being beaten and raped, and a thug played by actor Michael Massey firing a Smith & Wesson Model 629.44 Magnum revolver at Brandon's character as he walks into the room. In a film shoot prior to the fatal scene, the gun that was used as a prop was a real revolver that had been loaded with improperly made dummy rounds. The special effects crew had improvised the dummy rounds from live cartridges by removing the powder charges, but they had neglected to remove the primers from the cartridges. At some point before the fatal event, one of the rounds had been fired, and although there were no powder charges, the energy from the ignited primer was enough to separate the bullet from the casing and push it partway into the gun barrel, where it got stuck, a dangerous condition known as a squib load. During the fatal scene, the dummy cartridges were replaced with blank rounds, which contained a powder charge and the primer, but no solid bullet. However, the gun was not properly checked and cleared before the blank was fired, and the dummy bullet previously lodged in the barrel was then propelled forward by the blank's propellant and shot out the muzzle with almost the same force as if the round were live, striking Brandon in the abdomen. After Massey pulled the trigger and shot Brandon, Brandon fell backwards instead of forwards as he was supposed to. When the director said, "Cut," Brandon did not stand up, and the crew thought he was either still acting or joking. However, Jeff Imada, who immediately checked Brandon, noticed something was wrong when he came close and saw that Brandon was unconscious and breathing heavily. Medic Clyde Basie went to Brandon and shook him to see if he was dazed by hitting his head during the fall, but he did not think Brandon had been shot since there was no visible bleeding. Basie took Brandon's pulse, which was regular, but within 2 to 3 minutes, it slowed down dramatically and stopped. Brandon was rushed to the New Hanover Regional Medical Center in Wilmington, North Carolina, where attempts to save him were unsuccessful. After 6 hours of emergency surgery, Brandon was pronounced dead on March 31, 1993, at 1:03 p.m. He was just 28 years old. The shooting was ruled an accident due to negligence, and the incident led to a re-examination of the safety protocols on film sets. Brandon's death led to the re-emergence of conspiracy theories surrounding his father's similarly early death. Many fans and conspiracy theorists speculated that Brandon's death was not an accident, but rather a deliberate act of violence. However, there is no evidence to support these claims, and the official investigation concluded that the shooting was an accident caused by negligence. Brandon was buried next to his father at the Lakeview Cemetery in Seattle, Washington. A private funeral attended by 50 people took place in Seattle on April 3, and the following day, 200 of Brandon's family and business associates attended a memorial service at actress Polly Bergen's house in Los Angeles. Among the attendees were Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, David Hasselhoff, Steven Seagal, David Carradine, and Melissa Etheridge. In August 1993, Brandon's mother, Linda Lee Cadwell, filed a lawsuit against the filmmakers alleging negligence in the death of her son. The suit was settled 2 months later under undisclosed terms, bringing some closure to the Lee family. However, the tragedy of Brandon's death continues to be felt by his fans and the entertainment industry, and his legacy lives on through his father's films and his own unfinished work on The Crow. Thank you for watching. Stay informed with breaking news, captivating stories, and insightful updates by subscribing to our channel. Be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss a new video.